multiplying by double digits by partitioning. So if the question is, what is 326 times 24? Well, to do this, what we're really asking is, what is 326 times 20? And what's 326 times 4? You mustn't get mixed up with partitioning and factorising. In partitioning, we are splitting the 20 and the 4 into 20 and 4, adding. Factorising, if you factorise, you would split the 24 into factors. For example, 6 times 4. Then you would multiply each step with each other. But here, in partitioning, we're splitting it into 20, add on 4. So you're doing an adding sum when you've done your multiplying. Okay, I'm going to do it in the 2 steps first, then show you in the left-hand side how we do it in 1. Okay, it doesn't really matter if you start with the 20 or if you start with the 4, because in multiplying, it doesn't matter which way around. So let's start with the 4 here. So I'm going to do 4 times 326 in the usual way. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8 and 2 is 10. And 4 times 3 is 12 and 1 is 13. It's 1,304. Now we're going to multiply the same number by 20. And remember, in my video about multiplying by multiples of 10, to multiply by 20 is the same as multiplying it by 2 times 10. And when you times by 10, the answer ends in a 0. So if I put that down there, we've already multiplied by the 10. Now we multiply by the 2. 2 6s are 12, 2 2s are 4, and 1 is 5, and 2 3s are 6. So the answer to 326 times 20 is 6,520. Then you can guess what we do now. We've multiplied by 20, we've multiplied by 4, so we put them together, we add them to get the answer. So if you see, if I write here, 6,520, add on 1,304, add them together, and you get, oh, it's difficult with my finger, 4, 2, 8, 7. The answer is 7,824. Now, if you're happy doing it as 3 individual calculations, by all means do that. The main thing is you get to the answer, and for a lot of children this is maybe the easiest way to do it in 3 separate stages. However, if you're able to calculate mentally in your head and hold numbers there quite easily, this is the other way we set it out, the quicker way. We just put a line here, then we leave 2 spaces and do a double line for the answer. And then we do exactly as we've done here, but we just write the answer to each step underneath each other. So for example, I'm going to multiply 326 by 4 first. So, as usual, 4 6s are 24, but I'm not going to write, I'm going to keep the 2 in my mind in the basement. 4 times 2 is 8, and the 2 in the basement is 10. And keep the 1 in the basement. Let me just rub this. The 1 in the basement. And then 4 times 3 is 12, and the 1 is 13. And look, that's exactly the same answer as I got here. And then, yes, you've guessed it, now we're not multiplying by 2, we're multiplying by 20, because this is worth 20. And to multiply by 20, looking at the other video, we put the 0 down first, and then multiply by 2, this by 2. 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 2 is 4, and the 1 in the basement was 5, 2 times 3 is 6. And it's very important that you write the digits under each other in the correct houses. And at the end, we just add them together. 4, 2, 8, 7. 326 times 24 is 7,824. These are exactly the same. It's just doing it in 3 different stages or doing the 3 stages in the one. Let me do one other example. Okay, let's do 1,239 times 36. So I'm going to do one line there, one line there, one line there, and I'm splitting my 36 into times by 6 and times by 30 and adding them together. So timesing by 36 is the same as timesing by 6, timesing by 30, and then putting them together. So I put my add sign there. So let's times by 6 first. 6 nines are 54, so I put down the 4, and the 5 usually goes in the basement, but it's difficult because it might get in the way here. You may just want to write a tiny little 5, let's say there, to remind yourself. Now we do 6 times 3 is 18, and the 5 is 23. We do, and then we do 6 times 2 is 12, and the 2 is 14. And then finally 6 times 1 is 6, add the 1 is 7. So the answer to 6 times 1,239 is 7,434. So we've dealt with the 6, now we're multiplying by the 30. And to multiply by 30, we always put the 0 down first, because that's actually multiplied by the 10. And now we multiply this by 3. So 3 nines are 27. And make sure you write the digit under the correct digits here. Right, 27, I'll put my little 2 here, very small. Okay, then we're at 3 times 3 is 9, and the 2 is 11. Right. And then 3 times 2 is 6, and the 1 is 7. And then 3 times 3, the last one, 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, and now we add them together, because that's as multiplied 1,239 by 30 equals that. Add them together. 4 plus nothing is 4, 7 plus 3 is 10, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 1 is 6, 7 and 7 is 14, and 3 add on 1 is 4. So the answer to 1,239 times 36 is 44,604.